Hey ladies, this is Jamie. Thanks for watching. This video is why is he ghosting you and how do you handle it in a way that drives him crazy? Now there could be several reasons why a guy is ghosting you. In my opinion, none of them are respectful. None of them are okay. But to just go off on him is really not your best move, and I'm going to prove to you why. One reason why a guy may be ghosting you is he's just not interested, and you just have to face the fact. Maybe you had a date, maybe you were just talking, and he just found out that he wasn't interested in you, but he doesn't have the courage to say so. He doesn't want to hurt you. He doesn't want to feel guilty about it. So it's just better for him to just disappear. Maybe he isn't good at having difficult conversations. He doesn't want to see you sad, or he doesn't want to face you getting angry. Either way, he's a coward, but that could be a reason. He just doesn't like these difficult conversations and these difficult moments. He might be emotionally immature. He might be unsure about his feelings. And so while he's trying to figure them out, he's just staying silent. Maybe he's not ready for a commitment. Maybe he has some personal issues he's working on. Maybe you guys got into it. Maybe you went out on a couple dates, you kind of got into it, and he thinks that if he contacts you again, he's going to have this deep conversation and the talk, and men hate the talk. So he's just avoiding it. Perhaps there's somebody else that he's interested in, and he doesn't necessarily want to let go of you because he's not sure if he's really interested in this girl or not, or if he's really interested in you, but he wants to go out with a date with this girl, but he doesn't really want to contact you because he doesn't want you to ask, so what are your plans this weekend? And then he's going to feel forced to either lie, and he doesn't want to do that, or tell you that he's got a date, and then that will drive you away. So he's just trying to just kind of stay absent. Regardless of his reason for ghosting you, it is not respectful. He is a coward. He's not much of a man, in my opinion, but I'm still going to tell you how to handle it in a classy way. I don't think this guy's a good guy. I don't think you should want to go out with him again, but there is a way to handle it. First off, if you've only went out on 1, 2, 3 dates, there's no exclusivity. There's no commitment at all. If this guy ghosts you, you just don't hear from him. Let's say you have a date and then you don't hear from him at all. Let it go. Don't get so invested. The problem is women get so invested. They start talking to a man or they have one date, and some of you ladies, you're just all in. You need to hold your emotions back. Do not get so crazy about this guy. In my opinion, you should be talking to several men because you want the best. You want the most high value man that you can find, the one that's suitable for you. I say the one that God has for you. And it's probably not the first guy that you talk to, or maybe the second or third, or maybe the 10th. You may have to talk with a lot of guys and go out on very casual, innocent dates just for a cup of coffee, just to see if this person is the one that God has set aside for you. So don't get so invested. And the problem I see is that women get so caught up so easily when they don't have the exclusivity, they haven't talked about commitment, and then he just kind of goes silent and you get all hurt over it. So I'm going to tell you, don't get hurt, don't get upset, just let it go. Now, go on with your life. Do really cool things, post your amazing life on social media. Trust me, he's going to see it. Because if a guy ghosts you, in his head, he's thinking, oh, she's going to be mad. She's wondering why I'm not calling her, why I'm not talking to her. She's probably really hurt. She's probably really upset. And he's going to stalk you, or he's going to ask people about you. And guess what? He's going to find out that you are doing just fine, that it doesn't even look like it's fazed you at all. And ladies, I'm not telling you to act like it doesn't faze you. It really shouldn't faze you. You are talking about a guy you've only went out with less than a handful of times. Hopefully you haven't been intimate with him, because if you have, then it's going to make it much tougher. But you shouldn't be all caught up in this guy. And he's going to see that, wow, she acts like she doesn't really care that I've ghosted her. And 9 times out of 10, he's going to contact you. Now, when he does contact you, that's when you can have a conversation. And again, it doesn't need to be a sit down, we need to talk conversation. He's probably just going to text you something like, hey, how have you been? How's your day going? Something very innocent. He's just going to throw the fishing reel out there. He's gonna throw out a line and he's gonna reel it in, and he's just gonna kind of see if you're even still willing to talk to him. Now, here's the advice I'm going to give to you. talk to him, text him back. Don't text him immediately. You can wait several hours. You can wait several days. You can wait a week. This guy didn't make you a priority. Don't make him a priority. You can text him back and just say, hey, I'm doing great. Keep it very cool, very chill. He's probably at some point going to ask you back out. And that's when you can say, you know what? I don't know that I'm really interested in going back out with you. We had a good time. We went out on 2 or 3 dates. I thought everything was going great. You ghosted me. I don't like my time wasted. And I don't think you're really the guy for me. I don't think that you're super intentional and purposeful about wanting to date someone. And I'm not super sure you were my guy anyway. In fact, I was unsure if you were the guy God had for me. I was interested to see if you were, but I certainly don't like being ignored or ghosted or orbited or whatever you guys are calling it these days. And you just kind of phrase it that way. Again, it acts like, hey, I liked you. I thought you were cool, but you know, the way you handled this just wasn't really cool. So I'm not too sure I'm willing to go back out with you. You don't shut him down and say, no way, I'm never going back out with you again. You were a jerk. You ghosted me. You don't jump at the opportunity either. You don't say, oh my gosh, you texted me. I've been waiting for you to text me. You don't act all passive aggressive. Well, I don't know. I haven't heard from you in a week, so I don't know. Why should I go out with you? You're not going to do that either. You're just going to be very upfront about it, but you're going to be pretty chill about it. Almost even kind of a laughing way of like, oh, you ghosted me and now you're back around wanting to ask if I want to go out. I'm just not really sure how to answer you on this. I don't know that you're really the guy that I want to be with. And I don't want to just date to casual date. I want to date to find my forever love. And I certainly am not saying that I thought you were him, but I was interested in finding out. And I really don't like the way that you treated me. I wish you would have just been upfront and said, hey, I'm not really sure if I want to continue talking right now. Just be honest about it. If you come across that chill, that you're not that invested, but you're a woman that has standards and you are going to mention it, but you're not going to mention it in a needy, angry, spiteful way. Now, if you have been going out with this guy for a number of dates, maybe you haven't had the exclusivity talk or the commitment talk, and you've been going out for a couple months, and this guy ghosts you. He goes several days and you don't hear from him. I would probably reach out just to make sure he's okay, to make sure he hasn't been put in the hospital or anything. I would probably text and say, hey, I haven't heard from you. Are you okay? I was worried about you. I mean, I just think that's something a kind, thoughtful person would do, whether it's somebody you're interested in romantically or just a friend. You would want to reach out and make sure they were doing well. At that point, he may either respond to you with something like, oh, sorry, I've been busy, or I've got some things I'm working on, or I'm just not really sure what I want right now. I'm confused. He's going to give you some lame excuse, or he's just not going to respond at all. If he doesn't respond at all, chalk it up to a loss, move on. Don't pester him. Don't call him anymore. Don't text him. Don't send him something that says, oh, you ghosted me, and when I had the guts to ask you about it and ask if you were okay, you're going to go silent even more. Don't do that. Just realize this guy's a coward. He's not worth your time. But if he gives you some lame excuse, that's when you can say, oh, well, I wish you would have just been up front and told me that in the beginning. Absolutely no problem at all. Go into the conversation that I just told you to have with the guy that maybe you've only seen 2 or 3 times. Hey, I'm not sure if I wanted to be in a committed relationship with you. I wasn't really sure if you were the one. If you think I was pressuring you, please don't think that, because I 100% was not. I just was interested, though, in seeing where it would go. I liked you, and I was just interested to see if there was something more. I guess there's not. No worries. I will respect your decision. Best of luck. And end it right there. When you end it as if you aren't so horribly upset, that is going to drive this guy crazy, because see, he wanted to ghost you. He was worried you were going to be mad or upset if he said something to you. And when you kind of called him out and forced him to give you some kind of an explanation, you acted like, oh, goodness, please don't think that I thought you were the one. You know, you're going to handle it very cool, very chill, and just say, you know, I was interested to find out, but I certainly wasn't 100% thinking we were a couple, just wanting to make sure you're okay. You're not interested? That's fine. I'll move on. God's got somebody better out there for both of us. When you do that, you appear so classy. And for heaven's sake, here's another little tip. Never say, why? Why don't you want to talk to me? Why don't you want to go out with me again? Is there something wrong with me? Did I do something wrong? Never, ever do that. Okay, because that just shows such a lack of confidence. That just shows that you are so needy, such a low self-esteem. Just assume that, it's just not, you're not his type. Yeah, and it's just he didn't feel an attraction. He didn't feel chemistry. I'm sure there are guys that you don't have an attraction or feel chemistry toward either, and you feel bad about it. Maybe it's the same thing. Don't take it personal, okay? This guy wasn't meant for you. Ladies, that's how you handle it when you have this guy that's just being a little wishy-washy. He's ghosting, he's orbiting, he's kind of coming back and forth. I'm going to tell you to just let it go. Just end it right there. Now, if this guy ever messages you back, say like 2-3 months later, after he's ghosted you for so long, and then he reaches back out, you have the option of just not talking to him at all, or responding. I usually respond. I respond, and then they ask me out again, and then I say no. Okay, or at least I used to before I met my forever guy. But I don't think that just giving somebody in the silent treatment is ever a high value, high quality thing to do. Unless they're really toxic, hateful, abusive, then by all means, cut them out of your life. But in a situation like that, I always just respond and then just say, hey, I'm not interested anymore. The way you acted just isn't the type of guy I want to be around or that I want to, commit to. But, I hope you're doing well and I wish you the best. That just makes you the one. Trust me, ladies, this makes you the one that got away. You're just going to have to keep your emotions under control. Don't get so invested. And when you start approaching dating as, I wonder if this guy is good for me, instead of, I hope I'm his type. I hope he likes me. You need to date with the attitude of, I hope I like him. And then when any of these ghosting things happen, it doesn't even faze you. I will tell you that if you approach dating in a very nonchalant manner, looking for your guy and being selective, you won't get ghosted all that often because you will approach it with a devil may care attitude. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And I'm in this just for the time being, and we're going to find out stuff about each other, and we're just going to see where we go from there. But you're not so hyper-focused. Now, I will tell you, I've got videos on how to handle a relationship when you've been in it for a while and you're wanting the exclusivity or the commitment, or at least you're wanting to ask. I have videos on that too. You can check out my website, she'severyday.com. I will link it in the description below. You can find all links to all my videos on there, as well as some e-courses that will drastically change your life. Hit the like, hit the follow, subscribe button, whatever you guys have. God bless you guys. I will see you in the next video.